morning. Welcome, everyone. We will call to order the December 18th, 2025 meeting of the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners, seeing all three commissioners present. I will ask the CEO of our zoo to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Al Zone. He's always the best dressed. So.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Could hardly even recognize him standing back there. You need to wear something a little bit more flashy so we can see you.
Okay, great. So, good morning. Today we've got a lot of.
Sorry.
It's fun. Even more.
Let me take that. No.
So we've got a lot of exciting things to talk about today, and it's our last meeting of the year. I want to start with an initial update, which is on our Lansdale Transitional Housing Facility. So housing has been a priority for all three of us throughout this past year and through our first 2 years in office. Commissioner Winder and Commissioner DeBello, both of you have been instrumental in getting the Pottstown hoteling program up and running, clearing the way for the Norristown Zoning Board approval for the Norristown Transitional Housing Facility, which I know was until 1 a.m. that night, and of course, breaking ground on the Lansdale Transitional Housing Facility, which happened earlier this year. I want to thank Kaylee Silver for all of her leadership. If we did not have an expert like her who's absolutely committed and passionate about making sure everyone in Montgomery County has a place to call home, we wouldn't be this successful. There's a lot we're going to talk about in our budget for what we've committed to housing. It's one of the top priorities. What I'm excited to announce today is that the county will be receiving a $1 million donation towards the Lansdale Housing Facility, courtesy of the Tody Foundation, which is led by Nunn Tody. He is president of Penn Manufacturing, which is a manufacturer in the Lansdale area. They make engine parts in the aerospace and other industries, but he was very generous. He wanted to learn about the work that the county is doing and felt inspired to give back. He's really, someone who lived the American dream, came to this country in the 70s with little to nothing to his name and wants to give back. And what's incredibly just inspiring about that, I think, is for our team to get investment from the philanthropic sector really says something about how government functions and works effectively. And that's something that we've all focused on in terms of our efficiency, proving our ability to get better outcomes for every resident in our community. And it's so much so that we're able to get philanthropic funding for government, which is something exceptional. So the facility is going to open early next year. It's going to provide 24/7 housing, 20 beds, 4 single rooms, 8 double rooms, a warming kitchen, recreation spaces, laundry, and an office space for case management. When people stay at the shelter, they're going to have support from our team and are working with RHD, our partner, to make sure that they can actually get back on their feet, and whether it's finding a job or getting the healthcare access they need, working with landlords to find affordable rent. It's really going to be an exceptional facility. And so I want to thank everyone. Thank Commissioner Winder working with Lansdale and Commissioner DeBello for his commitments and all of the work and collaboration that made it possible. We're excited to open that next year. So I think it's also a really great example of how at a moment where the federal government had no budget, we didn't know what was happening. In fact, there's a potential loss of $5 million in the continuum of care funding for housing. The state government course, had a stalemate for a number of months, and we still got to advocate for housing funding there. This is really an example of how the county is stepping up, and members of the community and leaders are stepping up as well. So today we're going to be here to vote on the entirety of the budget, and Dean Dortone, our CFO, will present it in a few minutes. Before he does, just want to thank all the staff. This is the result of months and months of hard work, many meetings with department heads. All of this is something that requires deep engagement from the three of us as commissioners, and it's required deep engagement for the department heads and ensuring that we're meeting our goals as a county in terms of delivering services and trying to stretch to do everything we can with limited resources. So I think government's about compromise. We all came in with opinions about what our top priorities were, but there were certain things that we all agreed on, which was housing, mental health, substance abuse, addressing the top topics that our residents are facing. And I think you'll see that we're really proud of where we landed, and the staff will present that. So thank you again to our team. Finally, I'll have two quick announcements. One is that we're having a sustainability committee. So Davey, our sustainability officer, right over here, is going to be creating this advisory committee for her, and it's going to advise Montco on our county-wide sustainability plan in 2026. So that's the clear goal, is to create this plan. And applications will be open for this committee until close of business January 16th. So we welcome applicants from any range of backgrounds: environmental science, business and economics, any relevant disciplines. We really want to do everything we can to be good stewards of our environment for future generations. So again, that's until January 16th. Finally, tonight is the fourth night of Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah. We've been celebrating at home with my son, and I know many of you are getting ready for Christmas. I don't know if anyone heard my guitar solo yesterday. It was 5 seconds long. But happy Kwanzaa, happy New Year, happy holidays to everyone. We had a great choir concert. So thanks again to all the employees yesterday in the courthouse. No matter what holiday you're celebrating, we wish everyone the best with their families. Thank you. Turn it over to Commissioner Winder.
Great, thank you. Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing?
Great, thank you.
You can do better than that. Good morning. Everybody doing okay? Thank you all for being here. Packed room. We need a bigger board space for everyone, but thanks for being here. I want to start my comments today by honoring two members of our community who have devoted their careers to public health and medicine. They dedicated their time to the Montgomery County Board of Health. Stephen Katz and Dr. J. Raj provided leadership, expertise, and steady guidance to the board for many years, including supporting the county during the difficult times of the COVID-19 pandemic. We want to publicly thank them for their hours of service to the board and to the community, and wish them well in the future. Next, earlier this week, are they here? Yeah, no, okay. Oh, there you are. Come on up. I'm sorry. I didn't know you were here. I didn't see Dr. J.
Yes, he's not here.
How can I miss you?
Trying to dress down.
Let's give Stephen a round of applause.
Thank you.
You're in the middle.
All right. There you go.
All right, right here. All right, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thanks.
See ya. Thank you.
All right. Earlier this week, we were joined with employees from Dorman Products, an auto parts manufacturer based in Hatfield, as they donated holiday gifts, home goods, and other essentials for our holiday gift drive. Dorman has participated in our holiday drive for more than 13 years, and they are one of our longest, most generous donors. Last year, Dorman's facility building had a major fire, and they were still able to provide donations. We are thankful for their continued support and help. Our winter collection drives are still ongoing for those who are able to donate. The toy drive goes until December 24th. We are accepting new toys and gift cards. Our emergency food drive runs through December 31st. We are collecting non-perishable foods such as cereal, oatmeal, and canned meals. And our winter coat drive continues through January 2nd. We are collecting new coats, hats, scarves, blankets, and small space heaters. The greatest need is for men's and children's sizes. Drop-off locations are available on our website. And last but not least, I want to wish everyone a happy holiday and a happy new year. I can't believe 2025 is coming to a close. And I want to just thank the community, our county team, for being my inspiration. We can't do this work without all of our county employees. So I want to wish everyone a joyful holiday season. And in this moment where there is a lot of challenge in the world, let the holidays be a reminder of the importance of giving each other grace, showing each other that you love them, and being the light, not only during the holiday season, but all year long. So thank you for being here and happy holidays. Turn it over to my colleague.
Okay. A lot of good stuff. Another exciting announcement for those that might not have seen it. This week, we preserved the 200th farm in Montgomery County. On Monday, we celebrated the Sitco Christmas tree farm in Lower Pottsgrove. So as mentioned, they are now the 200th of the farm preservation program. It was awesome to see how much it meant to the family. They were speaking with them. They talked about how the current owners, his parents, always said that they wanted to ensure that this farm stays as is and never gets consumed by development. So they're really excited to be able to carry their family dreams. The current owners are the fourth generation. The farm's been operating for over 100 years. So with this preservation, it guarantees the farm to continue to be there for generations to come. And the cool thing about the way the preservation program works, even if they sold the farm to somebody else that wants to continue to have it as a Christmas tree farm or something else, it has to stay a farm. So they're really excited about that. We're excited to be there, and it was awesome to be able to preserve that farm because we're up over or almost at 11,000 acres in Montgomery County of farmland preserved. With that, also, if you have been around the buildings, at least over the last couple of weeks or at certain events, you probably heard our amazing Montgomery County employee concert choir. They've been singing their hearts out for the last few months. They've been practicing pretty much all year. And yesterday we had the traditional holiday choir concert over the courthouse. It's all volunteer with employees from many departments. When I look around the room, I think I see a few that are part of the choir. And they're just amazing. I mean, they're just amazing. They take time out of their day. They practice throughout the year. They actually practice in the conference room next to my office, so I get to hear them continually throughout the 12 months. We did have a special guest that joined the choir for a song. We all found out he had a new hidden talent. Played the guitar, which I didn't know until yesterday. So Commissioner McKeisha jumped in and joined the choir and played along with them. So it was a fun day. And I have now something to tease him about for a month or two, and but it's all good. So I too want to wish everyone as we come to the end of another year, as we go into the holiday season, I want to wish everyone a happy holidays, a very Merry Christmas. Enjoy your families, enjoy all the good food, and most importantly, I hope Santa's good to everyone. So, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and we probably won't see you again, so Happy New Year as well. So thank you. And we look forward to seeing you. We'll expand this room if you all keep coming, so we'll hopefully see you in January too.
Awesome. Great. Okay, so next up, we're going to hear from Tony Brew about our Impact Award winners.
Good morning, Commissioners. So it's my pleasure to present to you the winners of the first annual Impact Award. So when I first came to Montgomery County, I wanted to make sure that all employees felt valued and recognized. And this award is just a small way of doing that. So the Impact Award recognizes county employees who have demonstrated deep dedication to making Montgomery County the best place to live, work, learn, and visit. This year, we received many outstanding nominees, each highlight their incredible talent, commitment, and the heart of our workforce. Every nomination is deserving of recognition, but today we honor a group of people who have shown that they are dedicated as far as service, innovation, teamwork, and dedication to our community. With that being said, I would like to have Veronica Hillman stand if she is here. Oh, here, stand up. So Veronica's dedication to coordinating year-round donation drives has supported hundreds of Montgomery County families with essential supplies from school items to holiday meals, winter clothing, and toys. Her commitment and compassion helps turn generosity into hope. And her work reminds us that powerful impact one person can have on our entire community. So thank you, Veronica. Our next Impact Award winner is Danielle Higgins. She's not here today because she's probably busy working. But Danielle exemplifies going beyond the call of duty, from responding to an emergency situation, calming a frightening child, assisting injured visitors, and creating an innovative education program that supports our community. So she's not here, but let's give her a round of applause. All right, next is Lisa Nowacker. Lisa, are you here? There you go. My team works with Lisa all the time. She is wonderful. So she's a leader whose impact reaches far beyond her department. Through innovation, mentorship, and integrity, she has modernized procurement processes, supported colleagues across the county, and strengthened our accountability to our residents. Her leadership, both locally and statewide, embodies public service as it is at its very best. So thank you, Lisa. Our next winner is David Thomas from Public Safety. There goes David. David's hands-on leadership and problem solving has significantly improved the safety, efficiency, and reliability of public safety. By proactively maintaining and repairing facilities, he has saved the county thousands of dollars, which is always good, saving money, while ensuring our first responders have a dependable place to train and prepare. So thank you, David. Amanda Kelly, there you go. Stand up. Amanda plays a critical role in behind the scenes in ensuring Montgomery County communication is clear, transparent, and effective to all residents and employees. From shaping strategy to managing media and major initiatives, her work has strengthened both public trust and elevated the county's communication to new heights. So thank you, Amanda. Our final Impact Award winner is Jackie Godone from my department. I will say personally, I don't know what I would do without her. She keeps me right when I'm here. She keeps me on schedule, so I really appreciate her. But Jackie is the definition of a team player and leader. She is consistent and goes above and beyond to support our colleagues, bridge gaps, and foster collaboration across departments. Her positivity, professionalism, and dedication makes her a cornerstone of the organization and to the HR department. So thank you, Jackie. So I'd like all award winners to stand up. Go up front, we have something special for you. Okay?
See you again. I don't know how this week is you, but. I went the wrong way. We meet again. There you go.
All right, one right here. All right, 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Congratulations to everyone. It's really nice to hear a glimpse of everything that's happening in the county through your stories and the extraordinary work that's being done. I'm glad we can share that with everyone. Thank you, Tony, for taking the lead on that. With that, we're going to move on to the first public comment section. Reminder, this is only comments that specifically pertain to the pending votes, resolutions, bids, RFPs, and contracts, limited to 3 minutes. I'm going to ask our solicitor to help me enforce that 3-minute rule today. This is a very long meeting, so we'll have to do that. We'll save any comments we might have for the end of the period, just because we want to get through this. So, any commenters?
David Morgan.
Okay.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm David Morgan from Ambler. I'm here to represent the concern about tax increases for renters who are affected by homeowners, property taxes, and for businesses. So we've had quite a long streak of them. Before I get into that, I want to just say that there's some resolutions today in the agenda. H8 has funds for, I can't pronounce it, a Temple Incorporated. And so I was wondering if that could be explained sometime. There's also the term personnel use, right, with human resources. I like personnel, less typing, less paper used, more personal. Now back to the budget items. I have my graph you've seen before of the tax increases, and one individual told me that, well, just the current commissioners consider, but we're paying, the taxpayers are paying no matter who's the commissioners. And so we've had this increase of 5, 8, 8, 13, and 9.69% up to this year. Now here's my add-on. This for this side of the room to see. The add-on is for the 4% proposed, which is for 2026 and raises our tax to over 6 years, 57.9% increase in our taxes as homeowners. Sometimes it might go to an escrow company. You might not see that if you're homeowners, but please get the word out that our taxes have gone very far up. And along with that 4% this year, there's a budget drawdown, I believe about $13 million. So that represents a continuing liability. I'm very concerned to hear that was a $55 million deficit. And I thank Commissioner DeBello for voting against that tax increase last time and for trying to bring it to our attention, saying it was about 30 million, 40 million, but 55 million is quite alarming after that record amount of tax increases. So it seems like the county was going underwater really seriously, and why weren't we aware of this? Why aren't we told the new hires, there's new positions which come around on that back table? Why is it not a consolidated list we see the entire year? Because these new positions are going to be costly, up to $100,000 or more with benefits, pension. So why not consider how we can have that large cost not considered? This agenda has a $45 million charge for IBX, for healthcare. So we have high costs with so many extra positions being invented. Also, we have not had update about the county campus plan. since about the spring. And I'd like to see what's going on with this county campus, with this building across the street and over there, with a large justice center. It's been reported as supposed to be a $450 million cap on that. Where are we? Because that's been a little while. It's been in the press. I have an article from the Reporter about that. So all these issues, I'm really concerned about having our taxpayers bear the brunt of these. So please revise the budget if needed. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments
No, that's all.
on the agenda? Okay. So we will move on to approval of minutes. Is there a motion to approve the November 13th, 2025 minutes of the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners meeting?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Winder. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner DeBello. All in favor or any? Aye. No board comment, right? No board comment, I assume. Okay. All in favor? Aye. The minutes are approved. And then we move on to consideration of the budget. So we'll hear a presentation from our CFO, Dean Tom.
Morning, Commissioners. So we have a number of budget-related action items here, and I'm going to walk through each of them and explain the action that you're going to be taking. Next slide, please. Just an overview of the budget process. As you know, we started very early in the year, back in the spring, and with our departments, we were reviewing cost containment strategies, many that have been embedded into the 26 proposal. We had detailed departmental budget meetings through the summer months, which led up to the proposed budget that was presented publicly on November 13th. And what followed after that were 2 public hearings, which were well attended, good feedback from the public. And this is all required by law, and it's led to this last step where you have to take action on the budget, approve it by the end of the year. Next slide, please. So I'm going to walk through the resolutions. The first one, next slide, please, all relates to the general fund. So you're approving the new real estate millage rate, which will be set at 5.462 mils. This is approximately a 4% increase, and it'll generate $12 million of new revenue for the general fund. As you know, the general fund budget is over $600 million, so this is a small amount of money to fund the overall budget that we have. The impact on the average single-family dwelling is approximately $36 more in 2026 versus what was paid this year. Next slide, please. The total expenditures for the budget in the general fund, $632,700,991. And you can see here by functional area what is represented in that budget. I will point out that Health and Human Services, which is roughly 37%, is primarily funded by grant revenue. And if you looked at the revenue side of this budget, almost 35% of the overall budget is grant revenue money that funds this particular area of the county, which is all restricted for those services. Next slide. So we're going to move to the second action item. This is approval of the non-general fund operating budgets. And as you can see, they total $345,515,628. This is inclusive of all of our major operating funds. Many of these are restricted funds that are set for specific purposes. Next slide, please. The third action item relates to the capital fund budget. You're only approving the first year, the 5-year capital plan, which is 2026. And the total amount of expenditures for that budget is $255,754,388. That covers all the capital projects that are anticipated for 2026. Many of them are ongoing. They're multi-year projects. Some will come online in 26 for the first time, but this is what the total budget amount will be for the capital fund. Next slide, please. So when you roll all that up, right, all the operating, the capital, the general fund, you're roughly at $1.2 billion of budget dollars that the county manages, right? And you can see 50% of that is the general fund. That's our primary operating fund. That's mainly where most of our personnel are funded from. And the other areas that you're looking at here are pretty much restricted to specific uses, like Managed Care Solutions Fund. Those funds can only be used for those services, and same with the others. Even the capital fund, that's funded by bond proceeds. That's restricted to just the capital projects that are included in the budget. Next slide, please. So moving to a final action item, this is the assignment of fund balance for a contribution to the employee pension fund. Next slide, please. What we're doing here is we're taking about $5.3 million. We're assigning it for the specific purpose of funding future pension costs. It's a safety net for us for the unknown cost increases that we may have. We find out what our annual contribution is typically in June after an actuarial evaluation is done. So we have money in the budget slotted at current levels. However, if it's higher, this safety net will be in place for the next 2 years to fund that expense. So I'm going to take a pause there. That's a lot of information, and turn back to the chair.
Great. So thank you again, Dean, and to the entire county team. Your work is deeply appreciated. We've been talking about this budget for the last month publicly, and we've met with staff, individually since March. And whether or not you've been following the county on social media, the comms team has done a great job communicating what's in the budget. And we've had 2 hearings now, in addition to this meeting where we've heard from the community. We also, of course, hear from people throughout the year. So thank you to everyone who made their voice heard and advocated for the parts of the budget, that they either know intimately or care about. And thanks to the team for hearing everyone out and coming to a space where you've worked with everyone. Any other comments before the vote? We can do comments after too. Okay.
Like, so we're gonna do each one at a time, basically is the,
Yes, I think so.
well, I might, I'll
Let's
make.
save after. Okay.
Huh?
Do it afterwards.
What,
I'll make a comment.
Comments after,
after the vote or before?
after the
Sure.
vote. After this vote.
Right now.
Right, yeah. I'll wait for the
Okay.
first motion.
Yeah, it's the main one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, well, I guess we could do the capital. Okay, so we got a couple here. Okay, so is there a motion for the fiscal year 2026 that the tax millage rate to be levied on all real property within the county that is subject to taxation for county purposes shall be 462 thousandths? Is that correct? 0.005462 mils on each dollar of assessed valuation of taxable property, $5 and a 0.462 cents on each $1,000 of assessed valuation of taxable property, and be it further resolved that for the general fund, expenses of the county totaling $632,700,991 for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2026 are hereby appropriated from the revenues available for specific purposes as more fully itemized on the budget form attached and on the file in the office of the county commissioner's chief financial officer. Sound good, Ben? Okay. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Winder. Is there a second? Second, I'll second the motion. Any board comment?
Yeah, I'll comment, real quick. And Mr. Morgan raised up a lot of really good points as far as, where the budget has been over the last few years. I could understand his concern and many concerns of people as far as what the tax increases have been for the last 5 years, but, as a county commissioner who's been here for 2 years, I can't change what happened in the past. I could only focus on ensuring that Montgomery County is financially stable and we have to be fiscally responsible. But as you can see, we're a $1.2 billion operation here. And it's very difficult. It's a very hard thing for any elected official when we're confronted with a position where we have to take one way or the other as far as related to a budget and potentially increasing taxes. This was a difficult year. And as mentioned, I've mentioned this multiple times, we started out throughout the year, our starting point was about a $55 million deficit. We knew that was equates to about an 18% tax increase. We knew that was nowhere where we could be at. I know that I wouldn't have supported it, and I know my fellow commissioners weren't going to support something like that. And we worked very hard reducing that deficit by by at least $30 million. It was a big task. A lot of work went into that. There's things within this budget that I still don't agree with. There's certain positions and different things that were added through 2025 that I don't agree with. But more importantly, my position as a county commissioner is to ensure that we have a foundation in place so that we don't see what happened in some other counties recently where you see 18, 19%, 20% tax increases. We are carrying over probably a $12 to $13 million deficit into next year that we're going to continue to work on. But a couple things that we already have in place is related to, we have a team that's going to be focused on, we have such a long name for that team.
Always.
Huh?
OISP.
OISP. we gotta shorten that. But we have a team in place, and their job is really to work throughout the county to look at all of the spending and all the projects and all the initiatives to come back with recommendations and changes. We're bringing in a consultant to also look at, contracts, and so there's a lot that's in motion because we all feel that, this work has to continue. Like I said, I'm not happy with where we're at today, but it is a work in progress. And I know that, people like to make this political, and I've been in this elected position, and I've held other elected positions. I've been doing budgets for many years as an elected official, and I never make it political. I make it about almost 900,000 residents in Montgomery County, and that's what this is about. And we have to ensure that we have all the services that we're providing, and we will have to continue those services. We're doing a lot of good work in Montgomery County, and I'll close with, we've talked about this before. For every dollar that people spend on property taxes combined, every dollar, 12 cents of that dollar comes to the county. 12 cents, think about that. 12 cents of that dollar comes to the county. So we're doing a lot with, what I would say, as best we can. We're also dealing with, the last thing we're dealing with is that assessments are down. And a major part of the revenue source for the county is assessed values, and we're down. Those values are down, and we had a lot of great comments during the public hearings. There's things that were mentioned that I have been looking at and will continue to look at, trends over the last 5 years, and seeing what we could do moving forward. But we're in a position where at this point we've done as much as we could do for 2026. And now we're going to be focused on even getting better for 2027. So, thank you.
Thank you.
If I
I'll
could
save
just,
my comments
yeah, you're gonna save your comments till
after we vote.
after we vote?
Yeah.
I think do you mind if I, just reflecting, I also have been in other elected roles, and we know that passing a budget with any government entity is never a simple task. And so I want to make sure that people know that we take our fiduciary responsibility really seriously. We know and we've seen it's a delicate dance. It's balancing competing priorities, listening to a wide range of voices, and just making difficult choices. We are not doing everything that we'd like to do to deliver for the residents of Montgomery County. I want to thank every participant, whether they agree with the budget or not, for just sharing their concerns. Our job is to listen to constituents, hear those concerns, and make the decision that we think is best for Montco. Appreciate our department heads, our row officers for being in this difficult dance with us. We recognize that we didn't approve everything that everyone asked for. And grateful to the residents for taking time out of your busy schedules for just voicing your concerns, but also your thankfulness for what we are delivering to the residents of Montgomery County. So what I would say is I want to thank our county team again for the work that they did, especially our Office of Innovation, Strategy, and Performance. I'll actually say it. We'll continue to be transparent about how we're doing financially. We'll continue to be open-minded to concerns that people have. And we're going to continue to work to ensure that Montgomery County continues to be a great place to live, work, and raise a family. So thanks everyone for being here.
Yeah, okay. All right, so with that, I will move to a vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes unanimously. So I'll just make my comment, which is that what just happened is something that has not happened in a very long time in Montgomery County. I think it's been the better part of a decade where we passed a bipartisan, unanimous budget. And so I want to first just thank my colleagues. We really worked together on this. We committed to collaboration, and this was a months-long process where we both found significant savings across the board, and we still invested in all the things that really matter to our residents. So this is something that's eluded both Congress, the PA General Assembly, in terms of getting a bipartisan budget done and done on time. So it's really meaningful to show, I think it sends a signal to all residents that we're here working together, and we're not just here to score political points, but we're actually trying to do what's best for the county. So thank you to both my colleagues and Lee for all of the diplomacy it takes to get to this, and the whole team, Ben, Dean, everyone, Stephanie, our deputy COOs, Mira, and Tiffany. It really is something remarkable and exceptional. So I'll just say, we found common ground on things like our emergency behavioral health center, which is going to be a first for the region and really support crises of mental health and substance abuse. We are investing $5.3 million in housing priorities, including the shelters that I mentioned earlier, Lansdale, Norristown, and Pottstown, none of which existed before we took office. And this is something that, is not easy, but we've all done this by working together and staying focused on the issues that matter most. So we've also invested in public safety. We had a number of chiefs speak with us. We had Chief Jackson come present. This budget does have the purchase of new emergency radios for local police, firefighters, and EMS. They're going to be able to get to residents faster and more safely in emergencies. And one of the things that I really care about, one of the things that's best about Montgomery County is that we have 6,000 acres in terms of public property, or 6,000 acres of parks, trails, historic sites. 3 million people visit each year. We're going to have even more people visit next year. So we'll be well prepared for that, thanks to this budget, thanks to all the investments we've made. So I will turn it over to my colleagues for any other comments on this. You got anything?
Just, no, real quick, again, I mean, you mentioned a lot of things, and, you know, we heard a lot of comments also, and, we did have a reduction in staffing as well, so, I mean, these were reductions made throughout the county, and we actually also put $15 million back into reserve that, was from 2024, because there was a surplus and there was FEMA money that came. So this is a very delicate balancing act as far as how the money is being handled and the strategies used. So none of us took this lightly, and I know that I know I can't speak for my fellow commissioners, but I'm sure they have the same type of meetings I have as well with Lee and Dean and that. And I'm already talking about 2027 and looking at the budget and already starting to look at what we can do to continue working our way to get the county on a very strong financial foundation.
Thanks. Absolutely. Okay, with that, we'll move on to the next vote, which is part of the budget, which is on a non-general. Should we just go straight to the vote?
Yes,
Okay. So I'll ask for section 2,
non-general fund.
is there a motion that 9 operating budgets with expenditures noted in the budget resolution and on slide 7 of Mr. Dortone's presentation are hereby adopted, that the proper county officers are authorized and directed in accordance with county purchasing regulations to expend funds for the fiscal year 2026 within the limits set forth in the budget resolution?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner DeBello, is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Winder. Any board comment?
I think I'm sorry. I want to make sure people understand a lot of this money is the different kind of funding sources that come into the county. This is a part of the general operating budget.
Yeah,
It's part of the 1.2 million that you mentioned, but what we just voted on previous is not, this is other monies that come in.
It's outside of the general fund.
Outside of the
It's
general fund.
restricted uses.
Right. And they're very restricted uses.
Okay, great. Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Is there a motion that the capital fund budget for the 2026 fiscal year is hereby adopted in the amount of $255,754,388, of which $131,652,874 shall be funds of the county, and be it further resolved that the proper county officers are authorized and directed to proceed with the capital programs as described in the budget resolution and on slide 9 of Mr. Dortone's presentation, subject to all applicable federal, Commonwealth, and county laws, ordinances, regulations, and policies.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Winder, seconded by Commissioner DeBella. Any board comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Next, we move on to approval of assignment funds for the contribution of the employee pension fund. Is there a motion that the proper county officials, in accordance with the authority conferred by law, subject to the approval of the county solicitor, hereby approve the assignment of $5,335,000 of the general fund unrestricted fund balance to Montgomery County's actuarially determined contribution to the employee pension fund?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner DeBello,
I'll second that.
seconded by Commissioner Winder. Any board comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion is approved. Finally, separately on the community college,
I'll make.
we can make a few
Yeah.
points. Yeah.
So, back in 1963, the state passed the Pennsylvania Community College Act, which is still in place today. That act assumed, it framed out that funding for the community college would be divvied up a third, a third, and a third. A third would come from tuition and fees, a third from the state, and a third from the local. We're the local sponsor. Back in 2017, the county established a dedicated real estate millage rate specifically for the community college. That's, that funding it comes through the county, goes directly to the community college. The proposal in front of you today is to increase the millage rate from 0.39 to 0.49. That'll raise about 6.2 million of new revenue for the community college operations. But what it will do also is that it's going to bring the allocation closer to the state or in line with the state. So we're getting better at the third and the third and the third. We're not quite there yet, but we'll be in line with the state in 2026. As you can see, in 25, the state's about 24%. We were 20%.
Great. Okay. Is there a motion for purpose of funding the Montgomery County Community College that the tax millage rate of 0.49 be levied, tax millage rate to be levied shall be 49 hundredths mils on each dollar of assessed valuation. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Winder. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner DeBello. Any board comment?
So I just want to, real quick, again, that dollar that we showed, that when we said about, if you look at a dollar, you know, all property taxes that are levied against we're talking about 1 cent, right? If I have this correct, 1 cent of that dollar is going to Montgomery County Community College roughly, right? And it's Montgomery County Community College is probably the top community college in Pennsylvania, and probably one of the top community colleges in the country. And we've had many presentations where President she came and talked about for every dollar spent in the county, by the county, like, was it like $9 comes back long term or something like that? So it's investment that we're making that will have a return as we continue to move forward. And it's a great asset for all our kids, or anybody, because people of all ages go there, and it's a great asset for the county, and you know, it's something that we have to do our fair part.
Yeah, no, absolutely. President Esteki Perez came in and really just showed us how the community college is leading in the whole country, has been recognized, and is, you know, it's exciting to see what they're going to be able to do in the coming years. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Thank you. Great,
Thank you. Great job going through those numbers.
thank you. Okay, so I will move on to resolutions. First resolution, Scott France will briefly describe on planning assistance contracts in East Greenville, Douglas, Cheltenham, and West Norriton.
Thank you, Commissioners, and good morning. I will be super brief. This time of year, we have renewals for our community planning assistance contracts. These contracts are typically 3 years in length, so it's a steady stream of communities dropping in and out. 35 to 37 in recent years has been the total municipalities involved with this program, which is a high water mark since I can recall the history going back to 1970. The four we have before you today are Douglas Township, East Greenville Borough, Cheltenham Township, and West Norriton Township. In the interest of time, I won't go into the specifics of each, but their scopes vary somewhat to include things like revitalization plans, open space plans, walkability audits, active transportation support, zoning and saldo ordinance amendments and code updating, along with general planning services. The specific details of these contracts, I'll just read into the record. All of them begin January 1st of 2026 and run through December 31st of 2028. Douglas Township is a total amount of $86,070 with a municipal share of $43,035. East Greenville Borough, $63,118 total, municipal share of $31,559. Cheltenham Township total cost is $137,136 with a municipal share of $68,568. And finally, West Norriton Township at $120,498 with a municipal share of $60,249. And this resolution is before you today.
Is there a motion to approve resolution number 1 as described by Mr. Scott France? Moved by Commissioner DeBello. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Winder. Any board comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion is approved. Thank you for your work.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Next, we'll hear from Bill Hartman, our Open Space Planning Manager.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for having me. I have a very short presentation to give to you this morning. Today, we're going to be seeking your approval of 2 Monco Forever Green open space grants. Flip to the next slide, please. The first is a $220,000 county grant to Lower Moreland Township for the fee acquisition of a 0.43 acre parcel that's located at 2560 Fetters Mill Road, immediately adjacent to the Pennypack Creek as well as the Pennypack Trail. It will be owned and managed by the township and serve as publicly accessible passive open space. Lower Moreland is providing the required 25% match of $55,000. The second grant is a $160,000 county grant to Lower Salford Township for the fee acquisition of a 1 acre parcel located on Maple Avenue, immediately adjacent to the 39 acre Harleysville Community Center property. It will be owned and managed by the township and serve as publicly accessible passive open space with potential future trail connections to the community center's trail system as well as Maple Avenue. Lower Salford is providing the required 25% match of $40,000. The County Open Space Board unanimously recommended approval of both grants last month. An acquisition of these 2 parcels will eliminate their potential for residential development and permanently preserve them as open space for public use going forward. If you could flip to the next slide, I have a couple of maps just to give you a little context on both of these. You can see the site in Lower Salford on the left and the site up in Lower Moreland Township on the right-hand upper corner of the county map. Next slide, please. Zeroing in on the Lower Moreland project, the red polygon is the parcel that will be preserved. You can see that to the right, it's immediately adjacent to the Pennypack Trail that runs north and south in this slide with the yellow dashed line. The Pennypack Creek is the blue dotted line to the left of the red parcel, so you can see how it's sandwiched between the two. And Bernathen Borough owns property immediately to the south as well. Next slide, please. Jumping to Lower Salford, again, the red parcel is the parcel that will be acquired by Lower Salford Township. The Harleysville Community Center property that I mentioned is immediately to the east. That's 39 acres. Lower Salford also owns a parcel to the southwest of the parcel that's being acquired. That's about 2.5 acres. And you can see that the school district, the Souderton Area School District, has a 31 acre immediately to the north as well. So there's a lot of potential users and public open space that already sits around this parcel. Both of these projects represent the first 2 grants to be awarded through our recently created Monco Forever Green Open Space Grant Program. And we're super excited to bring more open space preservation opportunities to you in the coming year that will benefit Montgomery County residents and visitors alike. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Very good. Is there a motion to approve resolution number 2 as described by Mr. Bill Hartman?
So moved.
Second. Moved by Commissioner Winder, seconded by Commissioner DeBello. Oh, you can second. I'll have a comment after. I'll just say thank you, Bill and the Planning Commission for launching this grant program back in July. I know it's really important for a lot of residents in our community. Connecting with nature is one of the best things that we've got going in Montgomery County in terms of the opportunities, the parks, the trails. It's really something to be proud of when we build new spaces and expand on that. So these 2 projects are the first in the program, but it's a continuation of the open space program and all the great work that we've done for a long time. So thank you. You're welcome, Chair. Thanks. Anybody else? So with that, we'll move to a vote. Are there all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion is approved. Thank you. Oh, actually, that was one. We'll do 2. We'll do one more motion, but you explained both. So on the second motion, is there a motion to approve resolution number 3 as described by Mr. Bill Hartman?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner DeBello. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Winder. Any board comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion is approved. Next, we will hear from Lisa Herbst-Oldensky on the zoo.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Lisa Herbst-Doldensky, the Assets and Infrastructure Deputy Director. Next to me is David Clifford. He is the Parks, Trails, and Historic Sites Administrator. Before you this morning is a resolution providing authorization for the county to enter into 2 lease agreements. The first is a lease agreement between the county and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, to lease the Norristown Farm Park located at 2500 Upper Farm Road in Norristown. The property is 720 acres, comprising of agricultural fields, meadows, wetlands, and historic structures. There are close to 300,000 visitors to the park annually. The proposed lease has a term of 35 years. The lease provides for potential reimbursement from the state for a portion of operational and capital improvement costs, up to $500,000 a year. The second agreement provides authorization for the county to enter a sublease agreement with the Norristown Zoological Society, doing business as the Elmwood Park Zoo, to acquire and maintain a portion of the Norristown Farm Park, specifically the historic Castor House property. Here to talk more about the sublease is Al Zone, the Executive Director and CEO of Elmwood Park Zoo, and Dave and I are available after if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I want to thank all the commissioners for all their great work, and this is an exciting project for us. It's something we've been very interested in for a long time. I want to thank Lee and the staff. You guys have done an amazing job of helping navigate this through. The zoo team is here today. Stan Husky and Eric Husky were a major part in this, along with Jen. They head up our development team and have done a great job with helping us craft this. And my president and vice president, Sharifa Howarth and Don Millard. It's been an exciting run, coming on to, I think, 15 years now at the Elmwood Park Zoo. I am born and raised in Norristown, and I tell everyone I'm Norristown before I'm in the zoo, and that means a lot. My main involvement with getting involved with the zoo is the fact that it was such a jewel here in our county, but more importantly, in Norristown, and I wanted to see that strive. In 2011, the zoo was on the verge of closure. We had about 114,000 visitors, generated about $1.4 million a year. We are well over 800,000 visitors a year. We are the most populated zoo in the state of Pennsylvania today and generating about $25 million a year. I can't thank you guys enough for your involvement in our zoo and your investment. This in particular project, if you could change the slide there, is that little orange dot there at the top. Our property is everything you see there now in green, and after this, if all goes well, we'll include that little bit of an acreage up top. Our property kind of went around it. The building is up in your top left corner there. It was built in 1802 and has been abandoned for many years, and costing money to upkeep and maintain. We found a great interest in this building. We are going to leave 99.9% of the building as is. We're going to do works on the grounds. We're going to open up the building to talk about the education of the farm park and the connectivity between us and the farm park, and then host some events on the grounds. If you can go to the next slide there. Our plan is to build a greenhouse conservatory next to it to work with our students in the area to build food and browse for our animals inside the zoo and really help with education. So it's going to be a great component, allowing us to move into an area to become more sustainable and grow our own stuff there. A really cool part of this is on the other side of our campus. We're about to expand into 22 new acres. The bridge is being built as we speak. Construction hopefully will start within January when the zoo's wildlife comes to a close. But there's going to be about 9 of these acres that are free to our residents and to our community. We will have our barnyard on the other side of the campus, completely free to the public. If you're in the farm park and you want to come down and groom the goats, you'll be able to do so. There'll be a walk-through beehive exhibit to learn about the importance of pollinators, but also to talk about Norristown and why Norristown chose the beehive as their seal. And you'll be able to walk through that. It'll be a large exhibit, about a 20 by 20, which will be great. Now, this is on zoo property. This isn't right next to the Kastner House. It's just a part of those amenities. There will also be a nature play playground on that side of the campus, free to the public. We had a great year this year with doing the half-price admission with all county residents. If you get to the zoo on this side of the campus, where we're going to be expanding our North American, we will let you in at half price because you got there in a green fashion, you traveled by bike, you ran through the farm park, or even on the Schuylkill River Trail. Really excited. This was a project that Beth, who was with the county for many years, presented to us, and we were excited to jump in there. I just appreciate you allowing me to do our work, and we're having a lot of fun with it, so thank you so much.
Thank you. You're doing a fantastic job at the zoo, and just, it's such an amazing place. As you said, not just having Montgomery County and Norristown in particular. I know our kids love the zoo, and yeah, feel free to.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, we talked about this when I first became commissioner 3 years ago, and you had told me how long this conversation had been happening, and I'm just glad that our county staff and the state works so that we can get to this place, so we can bring that vision to life.
The master lease was the bigger part of that,
Yeah.
and getting through that is why we're here today.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's been great.
Yep.
It's been a long effort, but it's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna mention, it's been a long process of, with the lease, the master lease, the sublease and all that to get to this point. I didn't grow up in this area, so I didn't see the zoo many, many years ago. I've heard a lot of stories about the zoo many years ago, but from what I could see and what's happened in the last, 10, 12 years or so, I mean, how it's expanding and evolving, and the stuff that you're doing there is just amazing. And I think that if we're not there, we're going to be there very soon, but I think we're going to be outdoing the Philadelphia Zoo. And it's definitely, it's incredible to see everything that's, just recently with the whole veterinary hospital that was built there. And so this is just another big piece that's going to continue to make the zoo just an amazing, amazing place and a great destination for people to come to. And you're doing a great job as well. Well, your whole staff, everyone is,
A great team.
yeah, great team.
Well, if I listen closely, I think he thinks we're already there, right?
That's right.
What was the stat that you provided in terms of where the numbers are in the state, in terms of size, population?
Yeah, so our current zoo inside our gates is only 16 acres. Philadelphia Zoo is about 42 acres. Pittsburgh's about 74. And we are the largest populated zoo with attendance, well over 800,000 visitors a year, which is exciting. We will hit 1 million visitors this year. We're up 24% overall for attendance and 47% up in just our wildlife alone. So it's exciting.
And is the program still running, that the reduced?
Absolutely. And if you buy a membership in the end of the year here to renew, you get it at half price for next year. You get it for a whole second year, which is great.
And that's for all Monco residents?
All Montco residents. Yep.
Put that out there again. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. So we'll move on to the vote. Is there a motion to approve the authorization as described by Ms. Lisa Herbst-Oldanski?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner DeBello. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Seconded by Commissioner Winder. Any board comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Next, we'll hear from Steve Forster on the IDA.
Good morning, Commissioners. It's my pleasure to introduce a man known to all, your Montgomery County Treasurer and Chairman of the Board of the Industrial Development Authority, Mr. Jason Salas, to present. Thank you, Steve, for letting me pinch hit for you this morning. Good morning, Commissioners. I'm here wearing my hat as the Chair of Montgomery County's Industrial Development Authority Board of Directors. And that board is authorized by the county under the Pennsylvania Industrial and Commercial Development Authority law, which allows a life of up to 50 years for such authorities. Terms of bonds that we issue, tax-exempt bonds, cannot extend beyond the life of the IDA. Most bonds that are issued have a 30 to 40-year term. The last renewal extension of life that the county granted was back in 2007.
before any of us were here, I think, in these roles. The IDA's current life expires on October 29th, 2057, 50 years from that 2007 extension date, leaving it with a remaining life of less than 32 years as of this October. We have been approached by a potential substantial borrower who would like to issue a bond with a 35-year life. So that 35 years is longer than the 32 years that we currently have left in our life. So we're here today to request that you, again, extend our life for a total of 50 years, which would take us out to 2075 or 2076, depending on when the Articles of Incorporation get filed with the state. So I believe you have a resolution before you, and I'd respectfully ask that you consider it and approve it.
Great. Any questions? Okay. Is there a resolution, is there a motion to approve resolution number 5 as described by Mr. Jason Salas? Moved by Commissioner DeBello.
I'll second
Seconded by Commissioner Winder. Any board comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It's approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for serving on the board too. Sure. Moving on to Maureen Calder on the library. Go ahead.
Thank you. You will recall that this board adopted a resolution in November authorizing the submission of a grant application to the Commonwealth for a Keystone grant to support the revitalization of the Norristown Public Library. Specifically, the grant funds will be used for a new HVAC system and towards ensuring ADA compliance. And if the grant is awarded, the Commonwealth requires that the county affirm that it will be using the building as a public library for 50 years or the useful life of the improvements, whichever is shorter. And the resolution before you provides for that commitment.
Great. Any questions? Is there a motion to approve the resolution number 6 as described by Ms. Maureen Calder?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Winder. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner DeBello. Any board comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, the motion is approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to Jeffrey Stewart, our Assistant Solicitor, on a bargaining agreement.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm here this morning to present approval of a new collective bargaining agreement between the county and Teamsters Local 384, covering approximately 200 correctional officers at the Montgomery County Correctional Facility. The current contract with correctional officers expires the end of this month, December 31st. We have agreed on a new contract that will cover January 1, 2026 through December 31, 2028, so a 3-year contract. The union ratified this agreement overwhelmingly by a 4-to-1 margin. The prison board has also reviewed and recommended this unanimously. The contract, a couple highlights, will increase starting rates for correctional officers to $54,000 in 2026 and up to over $57,000 by 2028. This will help Montgomery County remain competitive with its neighboring counties, which was one of the goals that we had. This contract also is a milestone in the fact that this is the first time that the county and this union have been able to reach agreement at the table since this union was formed in 2013. So 4 contracts now, this is the first one that we've been able to successfully negotiate. Personally, I want to thank Warden McGee for trusting me to go into negotiations with a different approach than what has been done in the past. And I also want to thank members of the negotiating team. Dean Dortone, our CFO, was part of the team, Assistant Warden Tom Berger, and County Employee Relations Manager Fran Bartusas. They all worked very hard to get this to the finish line, so I wanted to make sure that they were recognized. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them, but
Questions?
Thank you for getting it done.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Is there a motion to approve resolution as described by Mr. Jeffrey Stewart, Assistant Solicitor?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Winder. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner DeBello. Any board comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion is approved.
thank you.
Great. Thank you. Next up, we'll hear from Stephanie Tipton on the Barathia Cultural Learning Center.
Good morning. Before you today is a resolution to approve a grant. The grant is in total $500,000. This is to support the temple in their building out and expansion of their cultural and learning center, which is an extension of a previous ARPA related grant that we had provided to them previously. I'm happy to answer any questions.
The 500,000 ARPA money, right?
It is not directly related to ARPA. This is part of assigned fund balance that we had brought in previously from funding that we had left over from previous ARPA money. It's all part of the same
all tied
project.
to
Yes,
ARPA. It's the
yes,
ARPA
same
money.
project, yes.
The clear way to say it is ARPA money reclaimed,
Yes, thank you.
right? So
Yes.
that we're using the
Yes.
funds that came from ARPA
We are.
originally. It was reclaimed and now we're using it for that.
Yes, thank you.
Is there a motion to approve the authorization as described by Ms. Stephanie Tipton?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Winder. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner DeBello. Any board comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion is approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, we will move on to Commissioners' board appointments. We've got a number of boards and appointments. We'll do them in one fell swoop, but I'll just read which ones we're covering, which is the Food Policy Council, the Conservation District, the Workforce Development Board, the Local Emergency Planning Committee, Montgomery County, the Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board, the Community College Board, the Board of Managers, the Montgomery County Youth Center, and that should cover it. So, is there a motion to approve the board appointments as described in Resolution H9?
Before we make that motion, I don't know, the published agenda, are all of those listed? Because,
Yes.
all right, I just want, because the agenda that we have with the links to everything didn't have the food policy on it, so I just want to make sure. The public agenda reflected. All of it, okay, I just want to make sure. So, did you get a motion? Motion, yeah, so moved.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Seconded by Commissioner Winder, moved by Commissioner DeBello, and seconded by Commissioner Winder. Any board comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, the motion is approved. Next up, we'll hear on the personnel list from Tony Brew.
Morning, Commissioners. You have in front of you the final copy of the Commissioner Department's personnel list. It is a 3-page document dated December 17, 2025, at the timestamp of 11:31 a.m. All positions have been reviewed and accounted for your consideration.
Okay, any questions? Is there a motion to approve the December 18th, 2025 personnel presentation as given by Mr. Tony Brew?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Winder, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner DeBello, any board comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion is approved.
Thank you.
The personnel list is approved. Next up, advertisements of bids and RFPs. Is there a motion to approve the advertisements of bids and RFPs for Montgomery County on attached Exhibit A?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Winder, is there a second? Second by Commissioner DeBello, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion is approved. Moving on to awards of contract. Is there a motion to approve the contract awards, amendments, renewals for Montgomery County on attached Exhibit B?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Winder, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner DeBello. I'll make one comment, I wish I had said this earlier. Item 31 is a reimbursement agreement that PennDOT has for our electric vehicle charging infrastructure. This is really exciting because it would have been very expensive for us to do with the county funds, and we're now saving $2 million by getting this through grant funding. We're going to be looking at more than 40 locations for our electric vehicles, and I know many of you are excited about that. We wanted to transition our fleet, and part of the part of the way that we do that effectively is first making sure that there's chargers. So this will more than double the size of the county's EV charging infrastructure. We'll be installing phase 2 chargers, which are faster than typical at-home garage chargers, and they will be used to power the county's EV fleet and will be available to the general public at certain locations as well. and we're working with municipalities to determine some of the best locations, including trailheads, parking lots, and county-owned facilities. So, reminder to our municipal partners that our planning commission also launched this EV mapping tool, which is a great resource for those who want to develop EV infrastructure in their municipality. So that's my only comment on those. Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion is approved and the contracts are awarded. Moving on to the advertisement of bids and RFPs for the Southeastern PA Task Force, Exhibit C. Is there a motion to approve the advertisement of bids and RFPs for the Southeast PA Task Force? Exhibit C. Moved by Commissioner Bella. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Commissioner Winder. Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion is approved. And then moving on to section M, is there a motion to approve the contracts, boards amendments, renewals for Southeast PA Regional Task Force on attached exhibit D?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Winder. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner DeBello. Any board comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. We now move on to the final public comment period, which is limited to 3 minutes and is still limited to business that's germane to the county. I'll ask our solicitor to help me enforce the 3-minute rule. Any public commenters?
Yes, Janine Darby.
Hello, good morning, Commissioners. Hi, I'm Dr. Janine Darby. I'm the Montgomery County Coroner. I just wanted to tell y'all thank you so much for your support during the budget season and also just supporting the Coroner's Office. The things that we do there is so important to our community here in Montgomery County, and you know, I'm sure the county and the community has seen all the things that we do provide for the community. The other thing is you know, thank y'all for passing the budget, and I hope our asks were accepted. You know, because all the acts that we did put in the budget is not luxurious things. These are necessities, so we can support our dedicated team at the Coroner's Office and also supporting the Montgomery County community and doing quality work for the community. So I thank y'all again for the support of the Coroner's Office and the administration and the OISP helping us as well, and Dean Durtone making sure our cost containment is intact as well. So just wanted to say thank you.
Thanks so much. Thank you for all your work.
Jay Berge.
Good morning. My name is Joy Berge, and I live in Springfield Township. I speak this morning to thank you for creating the County Sustainability Committee. I had the honor last year of co-chairing the Sustainability Transition Team for Commissioners Nakisha and Winder, and I've also served on Springfield Township's Environmental Advisory Commission, the EAC, since 2019. My co-chair on the transition team was Zach Davis of Upper Marion's EAC. We led about 20 environmental advocates in creating a set of recommendations for you. Our top recommendation was the creation of the Office of Sustainability, and we're delighted that you've appointed Davy Remkassoon as the Chief Sustainability Officer. I can't imagine a better choice. Another of our leading recommendations was the creation of a Sustainability Committee to provide recommendations to you and relevant departments. So, of course, I support this effort, the creation of this committee. The county is fortunate to have a number of environmental professionals on staff to guide the committee's work. I'm also pleased that you'll extend the committee beyond staff. I suggest that you look for members in existing networks where municipalities and EACs already share knowledge and experience. I know of 2 such networks. The EAC network, coordinated by We Can Serve PA, holds regular events where EAC members share best practices. Dozens of Montgomery munis participate in that network. There's also the Ready for 100 network, comprised of mostly EAC members from the 20 Montco munis that are already committed to getting to 100% renewable energy in their municipal operations. This kind of network involvement has helped Springfield arrive at the decision to put solar panels on our municipal buildings. We'll invite you to the ribbon cutting early next year. By tapping into these networks, county staff and management can learn what works and what doesn't work without having to reinvent every wheel. And the county can help support and further the work of the municipalities by expanding everybody's base of knowledge. So I applaud the creation of the County Sustainability Committee and Montco's ongoing and expanding leadership in this area. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Zach Davis.
Hello, everyone. My name is Zach Davis, and I'm a resident of Upper Merion Township. Over the past 9 years, I've had the honor of serving on Upper Merion's Environmental Advisory Council, the past 8 of which I've been the chairperson. This has led me to make deep connections across the county, including the opportunity to serve as the co-chair, along with Joy Berge, for the Sustainability and Climate Change Transition Team for Commissioners Makija and Winder. I'm just a passionate resident that got involved wanting to make life better and cheaper for his neighbors across my township, across my county, across the Commonwealth. At its core, this is exactly what the County Sustainability Committee will do. During a time where energy costs are climbing and people are struggling to keep up, the County Sustainability Committee, led by Chief Sustainability Officer Davey Ramkasoon, can help residents and municipalities both reduce their carbon footprint and their energy bills. Montgomery County staff and residents working hand in hand, making life better and cheaper for all residents, and by extension, the entire Commonwealth. There's a deep network of passionate residents mentioned by Joy that has already been serving and have been waiting for a moment like this for a long time. They're ready to serve and ready to work with the county hand in hand to make life better. A public committee will also allow the residents of Montco to hold the county accountable for advancing these sustainability initiatives that a majority of our public supports. This will add a level of transparency that the public will appreciate and we deserve. Article 1, Section 27 of the PA Constitution states that people have a right to clean air, pure water, and the right to the preservation of the natural, scenic, historic, and aesthetic values of the environment. We're just one of 3 states in the entire nation that have this enshrined in our Constitution, and we must do everything in our power to uphold these rights not only for us, but for generations yet to come. The formation of this committee is long overdue, but as the proverb that is perfectly relevant to the situation says, best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. Second best time is today. So I applaud the commissioners and staff for taking the steps to create the County Sustainability Committee, and I'm looking forward to serving in any way that I can. Thank you all for your time, and I greatly appreciate you all taking steps to make the county more sustainable, both environmentally and financially.
Thank you.
Ed Moy.
Good morning, everyone. Merry Christmas, and it's the season to celebrate the birth of our Savior, Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. My name is Ed Moy. I'm from West Norton Township. I'm here again with the same issue as far as a welcoming situation here in Montgomery County for illegals. Now, I think it's a bad idea, in essence, to roll out the welcome mat for illegal aliens while refusing to support the men and women of ICE who are only trying to do their jobs within the law. We are a law of nations, or a nation of law, excuse me. There has been a 1,150% increase on ICE agents as far as assaults, and there's been an 8,000% increase on as far as death threats. I personally know what that feels like. Being former law enforcement, I'm retired from the Pennsylvania State Police, and back in the 80s when I was on the job and we had the big cocaine boom going on in this country, guess what the drug cartels did in Mexico? Any uniformed police officer that you can prove that you killed, we'll give you $2,500. We had a target on our backs at that point in time, and I know what these guys feel like. So what's going on? Headlines: criminal illegal alien being charged with assault after he savagely bit and forced an officer in an attempt to evade arrest. This is the reality of what our ICE officers are facing every day. as they go to work to simply do their jobs and enforce the law, said Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin. Man arrested for throwing Molotov cocktails at federal facility in brazen attempt on ICE attack. Then there's the shooting in Australia. There's the shooting here in Brown University. There's a terror plot stopped in New York for New Year's Eve, a terror plot, 4 people arrested. And to top it off, moving right along, there's an organization called a Public Interest Legal Foundation. It is an American conservative legal group based in Alexandria, Virginia, which is known for suing states and local governments to purge their voter rolls, etc. Their investigation revealed and that PA officials admitted that for decades, the Pennsylvania Department of Motor Vehicles allowed non-citizens to vote through the PA motor voter system. According to Tom Fitton and this group there, they admitted that they found that there are 100,000 non-citizens registered to vote in Pennsylvania. This is not just illegal, but it's dangerous in my estimation.
Thanks for your comment.
Reverend Peter Martin, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, Reverend Peter Martin with First Presbyterian Church of Norristown. I didn't have far to come. Shout out to the borough for salting and shoveling. I didn't slip once on my way over here. I'm here to offer a different perspective on the welcome policy. I'm not, unlike my brother in Christ back here, I'm for it. And I'm not here as a representative of any political party. I'm here as someone who seeks to serve, and my church seeks to serve, Montgomery County. Obviously, we draw from more than just Norristown. We draw from the wider county. This is the season to talk about outreach, handing out toys to those less fortunate. I can attest to a higher branch of government that has interfered with that. A year and a half ago, Governor Shapiro handed down actions that restricted, actually eliminated outreach at the transportation center. Our mission partners were not able to do what they needed to do in partnership with us as a church because of his actions. And now we have something that may even be more serious. We have federal agents in our community, and they are disrupting the possibility of worship. ICE agents have yet to enter a house of worship, but it does appear we are getting closer to that. And executive actions, as I've mentioned before to this group, and my only other time here, have permitted them to do that. Indeed, we talk about holiday, we talk about a season of joy, we talk about worship, but if a branch of government is interfering in county business and threatening houses of worship, well then, I don't know how much joy we have in that. Again, I can't even mention the services, ministries, and other worshiping congregations that we partner with, because this is a public comment area, so I can't even get a chance to speak for them and certainly advertise what they do. We believe in checks and balances in this government. I'm a Presbyterian. Checks and balances are a big part of what we do. We call it decently and in order. If sheriffs were interfering with our ability to do our ministry and worship, I would be going to probably people from the federal government about that. Fortunately, that is not the case. I'm talking to you here in the county to say that we have a branch of our government that has overstepped its bounds and interfered with what we are doing here as a county. The welcome policy, other people have talked about it, other people will continue to talk about it. It's specific, it's actionable, it's not saying abolish ICE, and it's not violent. You'll be hearing more from them in the future about it, but I'm coming to you as a fellow partner in serving this community. Please come alongside us to serve the community of Norristown. Don't let the federal government interfere with it. Thank you.
David Morgan.
I'm David Morgan from Ambler, and I am happy for the National Adoption Day observance in November 21st, Orphans Court and Office of Children and Youth. Often speak for children And I'd like to say that this is amazing testimony one person had in Ohio, Senator John, I believe it's Husted, has said, courage and love. My mother chose life at a difficult time. She entrusted me to a family in Northwest Ohio who gave me a loving home and every opportunity. That experience planted in me a lifelong belief every child deserves a chance to live, to be loved, and to thrive. So when we talk about adoption in the Senate, it's not just another policy issue for me, it's deeply personal. So I find that's an area of the county which if we can encourage, promote, kind treatment of children. At the same time, I am concerned mentioning about issues of cartels that children have been exploited and human trafficking has happened. Whatever we can do to help children be safe, and we appreciate the attention that's been given one time in the year about March. There was a congregation of county officials concerning that. So everything we can do to help children, those born and unborn, I appreciate the county's having the parent and infant resource guide with many pregnancy resource centers enlisted throughout the guide. So I've toured them, and I think they're just absolutely amazing helping children and their parents, of course. So those actions of the county, I commend. And we really have a statistical concern in America because on average, it's 1.6 births per couple. So worldwide, there are less and less children, our most precious resource for the future, more than we talk about money today. That's so much less significant. How much is a child's life worth? So I encourage commissioners to support life with your communications with the Harrisburg officials. Some proposals have been out there in Harrisburg which concern me. And so anything that you can do, since you've got it going so well with adoption, you've got it going so well with Parent Resource Guide, to have a transformational outlook towards that. And if you're following the biblical accounts this time of year, Mary and Joseph had to travel far, was hardship being pregnant and having taxes to be addressed at a faraway place. The hardships we can maybe turn around. One example has been President Trump's savings accounts for families, starting out with a privately invested individual who has a company, managed to start these from the youngest born ones. Anything we can do to help these children. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Merry Christmas.
You too.
Okay, we're moving on to Zoom with Jasmine Dange. Jasmine, can you hear us?
Hi, yes. I would like to talk about the budget. I raised my hand earlier, but it seems that it didn't go through. Your budget allocates $0, not one penny, to immigration services, language access, or community integration programs, $0 for translation service, $0 for staff training on your own non-ICE, non-cooperation policies, $0 for accountability mechanisms to ensure these policies are followed. But you did find $768,000 to create a new external affairs department. Apparently looking welcoming is a lot more important than actually being welcoming. Let's talk about the budget. Law enforcement is getting 8.6 million more. The sheriff's office is getting 1.2 million more. The district attorney is getting 2.7 million more. The correctional facility is getting 3.4 million more. The weapons facility went from 687,000 to 758,000. That's an increase of about 10%. But where's the funding to train these employees on your internal policies? Where's the accountability system to prevent what happened in Bucks County, where the sheriff signed a 287G agreement with ICE in April? Your op-ed says that you oppose 287G agreements, but your op-ed is not a safeguard. Without formal policy, training resources, what's stopping your sheriff from doing the same thing? Meanwhile, you're cutting services immigrants desperately need. Mental health services down to 7.6 million. Drug and alcohol services down 1.6 million. That's 9.2 million in behavioral health cuts. Services that immigrant communities disproportionately need due to the trauma from displacement and family separation. You're expanding the Office of Housing and Community Development by 4.8 million. That sounds promising until I ask, are these services accessible to undocumented immigrants? Do your applications unnecessarily collect immigration status? Are the intakes process multilingual? Your budget doesn't say. The early language resource center is getting 8.4 million more. Again, wonderful. But can undocumented parents of children of undocumented parents access these services? Will the staff be trained in trauma-informed care for kids experiencing immigration-related stress? The budget is silent. You created a director of immigration affairs position in January. Show me the line for that office's programming budget. Show me the resources for community partnerships, for outreach, for actually doing the work. It doesn't exist. Here's what Lancaster did to become Pennsylvania's first welcoming city. They passed a formal ordinance, not an internal policy, not an op-ed, but a public enforceable ordinance. They required language access across all city departments. They established a complaint process. They budgeted for training. They partnered with over 40 community organizations. They built infrastructure of inclusion. They invested.
Comment. Can you also just name your municipality? Sorry, what was your?
I got muted for some reason. Ambler.
Thanks.
Are you stopping my?
No, you ran out of time. Thank you. Okay, great. Yeah, and I think there's a lot in the budget that is not in a line item, including plenty of translation services and supports for immigrant communities. So you can look deeper. Feel free to meet with our Director of Immigrant Affairs, who's doing a fantastic job. And
I've emailed actually multiple times, and I have repeatedly.
Comment period's over, but we'll get your information. I'd be glad to make sure you connect with our Director of Immigrant Affairs. But she's working with public safety. She's working with Health and Human Services, making sure every department is accessible to every resident, and I think is doing a fantastic job. And I need to underscore this again, but we don't enact policies to enforce a negative, right? We couldn't enact a resolution that says we're never going to do this bad thing that nobody supports, but we would spend all day passing those resolutions. So I think, I'm really proud of the work that we've done to support immigrant communities in Montgomery County. It extends, to real funding, to training, to support for Nellie and her office. And I think there are very few counties that can say they've done anything close to Monco. Anything else? That's it. Okay. With that, closing commissioner comments, I'll just say thank you again to my colleagues. I think this has been, a long budget process, and we should be extremely proud that for the first time in 7 years, we're passing a bipartisan budget. We worked together to find serious savings across the board through the Office of Innovation, Strategy, and Performance, but also just today we got a $2 million grant for EV infrastructure. We got the philanthropic donation. There are things that are happening to make sure that we are doing more with the resources we have and serving our residents effectively. And I am, absolutely confident that there's no other county where people are getting more bang for their buck in terms of what they're putting in taxes and what they're getting in services. And especially going into next year, we mentioned this, but the investment in parks and trails and the kinds of spaces that people are going to enjoy, both as visitors and after they'll come back, but also all of our residents. That's going to be really special. So thanks again to the whole team for making it happen. Thanks again, Lee, for enduring the back and forth and presenting to each of us individually. And yeah, this is a great way to end the year. So go ahead.
We've been here long enough, but it has been, it's been a challenging year, right? But in spite of all of those challenges, we continue to focus on making Monco great. And I think some of the highlights are a reflection of that. And we couldn't do any of this work without our county team. So I'm glad looking forward to putting 2025 behind us and continuing to do things that challenge the status quo, that innovate the way that government works for people, and continue to make Monco proud. So thanks to my colleagues, the whole leadership team couldn't do this work without you.
Comments?
As Commissioner Weiner said, it was a challenging year. A lot of hard decisions had to be made. Things that we may not all agree on, but we knew we had to get to a certain point. I want to thank Mr. Morgan for being vigilant, coming to the meetings and asking your questions about the budget. Each meeting, I really appreciate that. I would wish and hope more people would come and ask, because it's a very complicated budget. There's a lot going on. A lot of people don't even know that we're at $1.2 billion overall. So when we start to present these things, I think it's very informative. And I think next year we're going to try to do an even better job of having some more quarterly or whatever updates and briefings related to the spending within the county. I do know we're planning early next year an update on the Justice Center as well. So a lot of good stuff is coming. A lot of hard work is coming as we go into 2026. Because as I mentioned, we just finished up the budget for 26. We're already going to be starting and looking at, after the holidays, for budget for 2027. So again, I want to wish everyone a happy holiday. I want to thank everyone for all their hard work, and have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Happy holidays, everyone, as well. Our upcoming board meeting dates. So our board meeting is Thursday, January 8th, 10 a.m. here. There's also a reorg meeting, should I say that? January 5th, Monday. Do we have time? No. Well, not yet. Time TBD. But that'll also be here in the boardroom. And with that, is there a motion to adjourn the December 18th, 2025 meeting of the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner DeBello. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Seconded by Commissioner Winder. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting is adjourned. We'll briefly have a salary board meeting with our controller. Thanks.
We just tweaked tiny little language here.
Okay, so ignore this. Okay, that's great.
I look good to see you. Message
Put your name, Lower Moreland Township. I appreciate it.
Clearly makes clear.
Yeah, good for your service.
Amazing job. Seeing the transformation.
You ready for the holidays?
Just from when I filed my petition.
Yes, so we're just making clear that
It's even better
I
when
think the Senate's going to be fabulous.
Yeah.
Senator, doing their job. All of you. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
How you doing? Nice to see you. Okay, good. No, I'm glad. Well, we got 1 minute.
I went over it with, I know, I
Thank you.
get that. Don't worry.
All right, we'll be very quick. Good news for all the employees in this. We'll be real quick. Just one motion and then we're done. Is there any salary board public comment?
David Morgan?
David Morgan.
David Morgan from Ambler. Regarding the new positions, I do have this morning's new position paper from the desk over there. If they could be cumulative in terms of the cost, this is where I see it going last budget, and so might have again the $55 million problem that could develop. So this was just the positions from last January, one meeting happened, and some of them I really wonder if you're accounting how effective they are. Perhaps they're saving money. Perhaps these are like sustainability, but we'll be saving us a lot of things. We have things like policy and assistant director of policy and intergovernmental affairs, community engagement, things like that in here that perhaps a good evaluation is being done so that the public really is aware, transparent list of what's the cost of all these new positions, which seem to me some are funded by federal money and state money, but those we have to take as a back tax burden. that's where I have a concern. It's just not be piecemeal, but we see an ongoing, just like Commissioner Bell might mention, the quarterly reports. Thanks.
Thanks. Okay, any other comments?
Yes, Giuseppe Massima?
I'm not Giuseppe, that's Giuseppe back here.
Okay.
I'm Judge Branca, here at the Court of Common Pleas in Montgomery County, and I'd like to say a few brief words about Giuseppe. Joe was a court crier. He's retiring after 31 years of service here in the county. He served 15 years for former President Judge Corso, and then the last 15 years for me. I retired a year ago as an active full-time judge. I was born and raised here in Norristown, and my dad was a police sergeant for 20 years, and then after that, he became a court crier for both Judge Sirica's. He did not think of it as a job. He thought of it as an honor, and he thought of it as a profession, and it is that mold that Joe follows. He is the last, I would like to say last of a dying breed. He's actually the last of a dead breed. There are no more full-time court criers in Montgomery County. He's the last one, and he's gone. Joe, as a court crier, viewed it as a profession, and he did his work magnificently. He managed the courtroom. He got to know all the lawyers. He treated everybody with respect, and in return received respect back. He is somebody who will be sorely missed in this county because he did, in fact, act as such a professional. On the personal side, Joe is somebody who was a friend to everybody. Everybody loved Joe, and Joe loved everybody back. If somebody needed any help within the county family, and Joe knew about it, he was always ready to serve. In fact, he used to joke that if you need any help, just call 1-800-MESSINA, and Joe would be there for you to help. So he is a man who is immigrated to this country as a kid from Italy. He's done a magnificent job, and I just want to commend him and ask that you all commend him for a job well done for 30 years.
Well, that's going to be extremely hard to top, but I 31 years, that's awesome.
All right, one right here. All right, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
I'm still working on All right, any other comments?
We have one more on Zoom, Yara Pompeya. Yara? Yara, can you hear us?
Unmute. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. My comment was for the public comment before the salary board, but I guess they didn't see my hand raised. But hello, commissioners. My name is Yara Pompeya. I'm the administratrix of my father, Darrell Alston's estate. He was a Montgomery County resident who lived in Norristown. As the county moves forward under the approved budget, I want to raise concerns about how Montgomery County funded public safety departments coordinate and follow through when jurisdiction and responsibilities overlap.
So quick thing, sorry, I think you're speaking at the wrong meeting. This is for the salary board, so the comments only relate to the salaries that are being approved today or not approved. Do you have anything related to that?
They didn't I guess someone missed my hand for the last one. I've been trying to reach to them, and then they added my name to this list.
Do you want to say anything, Gabby, or? We can take your comment in writing, but it's for a separate meeting. Okay. Thanks so much. Okay. So we will hear from Mr. Tony Brew, our Chief Human Resources Officer, on the salary board.
Good afternoon, members of the Salary Board. You should have in front of you the final copy of the Salary Board list. It is a 5-page document dated December 17th, 2025 with a timestamp of 11:31 a.m. All positions have been approved and accounted for your consideration.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the December 18th, 2025 Salary Board presentation as given by Mr. Tony Brew, Chief Human Resources Officer?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Winder. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Controller Hart. Any board comment?
I'll just make a quick comment. The position that Mr. Morgan's referring to with this agenda is a grant-funded position, so it's required associated to the grant that we have to hire that individual. But also, as per your other comment, I might as well say it now, with Anthony coming on board as our new director of HR, is that your title? Or
Chief Human
Chief
Resource
Human,
Officer.
yeah, can't keep track of it. But he's doing an amazing job, and he's looking at a lot of different ways for us to really look at a lot of positions and performance management and all that. So yes, there's a lot of your suggestions, Anthony is definitely looking at and going to be making recommendations.
Thank you.
Might just throw that in there, yeah.
Thank you.
And he's dressed very nice today.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Isn't that an HR
Okay.
violation?
No, it's a
Not
compliment.
really.
Maybe if I said it.
So is there a motion to approve the December 18th, 2025 salary board presentation as given by Mr. Tony Brew? What?
You already have it.
Already had the
already
motion,
did it.
second.
Just have to take a vote.
Board comment, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, yeah, that's right. Seconded by Bob. Okay.
All right.
Okay, next.
All right, the second action I present to you today is for the pay increase for all non-represented employees in the amount of 3% and 2% increase for certain elected officials. There's a cost of living increase, which is included in the 2026 budget that was presented for all qualified full-time and part-time employees. That will be effective as a pay period beginning of December 20th, 2025.
Is there a motion that effective December 20th, 2025, except as restricted by statute or otherwise by Resolution 22-SM.1, relating to the salaries of certain elected officials, a pay increase of 3% be granted to all qualified full-time and part-time employees? Be it further resolved that pursuant to Resolution 22-SM.1, a pay increase of 2% be granted to county officers as set forth therein. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Winder. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Controller Hart. Any board comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Unanimous. Great, thank you. So is there a motion to adjourn the December 18th, 2025 meeting of the Montgomery County Salary Board?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner DeBello. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Winder. Any board comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It is adjourned. Happy holidays.
Good, how are you?